They sprinting away from the 1200 metre marker. High Legislation was slow to go. So was Fernie and Another Day in Africa. The grey New Orleans, 3 off the left-hand side, is very quick and clean slates in the blue with the black cap. Grey View amongst the leading group, and Bim Bam Buddy's got the black cap on the stand side. On the left-hand side, Intrepid Act and Shining Seas in the orange. High Legislation's now only about a length and a half off them after being slow. Mr. Maloney's towards the inside in the green. Then comes What's Going On Roy. The outside is Rare Flag and Raven Sword. As they come to the 500, they're lining up for the lead now. Bim Bam Buddy on the outside. Raven Sword. High Legislation's right there. New Orleans. Mr. Maloney's putting in a claim. Grey View is still right there. Intrepid Actors on the inside. Coming to the 200 metre marker now. Mr. Maloney, High Legislation, New Orleans. Grey View is still there. Raven Sword on the outside. That's wide open, but Mr. Maloney hit the front. Down the inside, New Orleans. The outside, Grey View. And it's New Orleans on the inside, Mr. Maloney the outside, and Grey View, they hit the line. Mr. Maloney won it. Close for second. Grey View, New Orleans involved, then Intrepid Act. I went with Mr. Maloney, number 3, which will win a close decision. Second is number 10, Grey View. Third, New Orleans. And fourth, Intrepid Act. As they run across the line, further back in the run, Clean Slate, and they were followed by Raven Sword, Bim Bam Buddy, and then came Fernie, and they were followed further back by Rare Flag. A well-stretched outfield, but Mr. Maloney comes good. The Redoutes Promise ends up winning it. Garth Puller for Maloney, DeMarta and Fennick, and bred by Bruce LaRue and Sereno Mudley. And they come good, and number 3 ends up paying $450 and $140. The tote favourite, number 10. So the winner, number 3, showing up at $450 and $140, and the tote favourite ended up number 10. Mr. Maloney, bred by Bruce LaRue, and will win a close decision. Until the 4th, back to the studio.
Mr. Maloney has won a tight finish here and beaten Fairfield here, and he's a son of Redoubt's Promise out of a Mearsk approval mare. He was bred by Bruce LaRue, owned by Messrs. Maloney, Joe DeMarta and Fenwick. Sereno Mudley, the rider, and Bongi is the gentleman who gets R1,000 on behalf of Hollywoodbets and on behalf of Gold Circle. Well done to you, Bongi. Congratulations on behalf of the sponsors. Enjoy the money. Well done. Let's get Garth in. You inherited this horse from Lazan Forbes, and he's lightly raced. You're to be pleased with the way he performed last time, and even more pleased with what he did today. Well done.
Thank you. I must thank Lazan. He came over in good nick. Lazan told me he could run. She was desperate to give him a run before she packed up. She ran me with blinkers on just to teach him. He didn't know what was going on. He comes out very keen, and we needed to get him behind something, but he came out a little bit too fast, so he's still got a lot of improving to do, I think. He's a tough guy, but I've been able to back him up 10 days later and run him, so I'm very pleased. Thanks to Lazan, thanks to Joe. Joe's waited, at least ridden properly now. You can see he's got the abilities coming through. Phil, thank you, and Mr. Fennick. Thanks, guys, for your support. And then to the guys back at home, Michael and Bishop, and Wendy and Kathy. Yeah, that's about it. And nice ride on a tough bugger. He's a tough boy, this horse, and Serena's getting used to him.
He was tried once or twice over 1,400. What is optimum trip, do you think, as we go along?
No, you'll go further. He just needs to settle. He comes out hard. He even sat him back today, and he came back in the air, and he couldn't get behind anything for the first little while. And then he runs on last. He's a big striding horse, so I think he'll go further. He needs to learn to race properly. He's still a big baby. And then my other two ran well too, so I was very pleased. The one ran fourth and the one ran just behind them, and they were having their first runs in Natal.
Well done, Garth. All the best to you in the stable.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Come along, Sereno. Not for the first time today. Well, 1.5 times, they say. But well done to you, and you would have learnt a lot from him when finishing third to Passage of Power, but he's a bit of an aggressive sort.
Yes, definitely. It always helps that you get to know these horses back at home. I ride a lot of work for Mr. Puller, and I actually begged him for the ride on numerous occasions, because I do know the horse pretty well, and look, I'm just glad he's duly obliged. He's a bit of an aggressive boy, but he's just very immature, and he'll soon get to learn how to race.
Do you agree with what Mr. Puller says, that he will go a bit of ground later on?
Oh yes, definitely. He's definitely a big striding horse, so he'll definitely go further once he learns how to race. And look, I'm just glad for the connections, Mr. DeMarta and Mr. Maloney, and to Lazon Forbes and Mr. Fenwick. I spoke to Lazon the other day, and look, I'm just glad that I could bring another win home for them.
It's been a good day for you so far, and it's nowhere near over. Well done.
Thanks so much. Once again, big thanks to Mr. Puller and his team, and to my sponsors, Uniform. Thank you so much.
Well done, Serena. Congratulations. Mr. Maloney has won. Well done to you, Joe. Well done to you, Mr. Maloney. And, of course, to Chris Fenwick and all the connections involved here. And Bruce LaRue just up the hill in Nottingham Road area. Well done to you, Bruce. Congratulations. You've bred another winner.